Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. It's Saturday, and do remember that Saturday evening we get to bring you the program called My Point of View. And to host it, my name is Chaza right here. This program is for you to actually tell us your viewpoints as regards the stories that we get to share right here, stories and headlines of the week. And as usual, right in the studio, we'll be joined by Mr. Mukelabai, who's actually, our ardent, voice as regards, the stories that we do have on our Ubuntu channel. Mr. Mukelabai, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza, and good evening, viewers. Thank you for having me. We are back again.
Definitely. It's that time that we got to take a view of the stories that we do have. Stories making headlines right in the week, and we get to react to them. Without much ado, let's have the first story.
An assortment of medicines and medical supplies on display. These items were seized from different pharmacies in Lusaka, but they are bearing batch numbers of government-procured items. This is a possible indication that they were stolen. However, they have been retrieved during a joint operation conducted on Thursday.
Initiatives spearheaded by the personnel from Zambia Police, Drug Enforcement Commission, Ministry of Health, Zambia Medicines Regulatory Authority, and the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMISA, concluded with a pivotal operation dubbed Operation Umoyo. This operation was strategically designed to combat proliferation of illegal drugstores, unauthorized sales of government medicines, trading without proper licenses, and associated offenses within the metropolitan part of Lusaka.
Among the seized items include antibiotics, HIV test kits, and injectable medicines.
Notably, the operation led to the apprehension of 16 suspects across various police stations in Lusaka. Among these suspects, 7 individuals were arrested for operating unregistered pharmacies. 9 suspects were detained for conveying stolen property.
Kasabula Mchimba, ZNBC News in Lusaka.
There we have it. Confiscated, drugs, an assortment of drugs from illegal dealers in drugs, pharmacies, chemists, and so on and so forth. Mr. Mkelawa, your reaction?
Well, thank you so much. I just want to commend the police for a job well done. And these are the illegal or illicit activities that we have been crying about. You know, I always talk about us Zambians, even though we try to put blame on the government when they are not providing us with medication, when there's lack of medicine in the hospitals. But upon the government availing those medications to us, what do? We go and start stealing from the very government, stealing from the monies, from the medication that is supposed to save our people. We go and steal and start selling them ourselves so that we get some monies out of that. And that, to me, is just, these guys are so heartless. They are so evil, and they are the worst. And they should be punished. Definitely, they should be punished. And I'm just happy that this operation ought to have started a long time ago. I think it is high time that the police, together with those that are in medicine, that are in charge of procuring of medications, and they know the type of medicine that they procure, and to go out flat out in the whole country, not just Lusaka, because those medications are being given to people that are not even sick, and those are unprofessional people that are just how could you just go and buy antibiotics without a prescription or without being controlled by a qualified personnel? And I find that really it's sad. It's really sad, because you hear people, they even self-diagnose themselves of diseases. No, I'm very flu. No, ni malaria. Somebody has a cough at malaria. You start giving someone mungwala wa malaria, muntu alina adwala chifuba, o muntu amverako cheka fever alina kapena ni cholera, imwombo kamba ni HIV. Who does that? That's why ignorance is gonna kill us. So those people who are busy disseminating, or rather selling medicines that are procured by the government that should have been given to the people free of charge, and they are found selling such medications, I think the government should really, maybe it's high time we talk to the parliamentarian to enact or rather to amend the penal code, the punishment. When it comes to punishment, that's supposed to be given to people that are stealing from the government, that it should enact a law where a stiffer punishment be given to such people, the closure of that pharmacy, and also a custodian. We have so much, we need labor. We need people to go and plant maize, to go and, to kulima. We need such people, and these are the chaps that need to be taken there so that they pay for their crimes, because against humanity. So that's killing the Zambian people. You are stealing from the government, and yet you are the number one. They are the number one on social media, busy blaming the government. No, the government is failing to provide medication. They're the same people who are busy selling. If you investigate, you find that those are enemies of progress. Those are selfish leaders. So I would love that it's commendable for what the police and the other teams that have helped, assisted the police, including the public. You are the police you must be the police of your own. Look out for these people who are busy killing your own brothers and sisters in the neighborhood by selling those medicines that are supposed to be given to you, the Zambian people, for free. When you find such individuals, please do not hesitate but to report such individuals to the authorities. You are not a snitch. No. You are being a hero because you are saving many lives. You are saving your brothers, your neighbors, yourselves. So it is important and imperative that we do not condone such kind of activities. So job well done to the police, and I'm glad the Inspector General was there. But I would suggest that next time, Inspector General, allow your junior officers to make announcements and, such kind of, we know you're a busy man, do other things, but let your juniors take over and report such issues to the public, so that you can deal with the other issues, especially those that are busy trying to defame or rather put our security at risk. Otherwise, with those few words, good job well done, officers. You are men and women in uniform. We respect you. And kudos to Umsamba, our IG. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep up with the good work. We love you and will forever respect for what you do, because it's not easy to provide security and law and order in a country. Thank you.
Right, Mr. Mukelabai, I've actually, heard you talking about so much, the people from the hospitals, government hospitals that have been selling these drugs to the illegal, people selling in drugstores, pharmacies, and so on and so forth. I haven't heard you talking about now the recipients, these that buy and sell. What do you say about them? Is it ignorance? They don't have licenses and they are procuring, these drugs illegally, and they're also selling illegally. What's your viewpoint on that?
Well, it takes two to tango. If you obtain properties suspected of having proceeds of crime, and you happen to be in possession of those, and when you know very well that the person you are buying to is not legalized or allowed by any statute or any law to sell those drugs, then you are an accomplice. Once you are caught, you will also be punished, penalized, and that's why it's also important to give civic awareness to the people. We should educate our people that they should not just go walk into the chemistry and buy medications at anyhow without any prescription from a doctor, from a qualified doctor. And also they should look on the medicine that they are buying, whether they are those medications, especially those medicine that are from the government. There is always a stamp stating that they are not for sale. And also the government should give out, is it Zamra or I don't know which, is it Zamra or Zamsa? Those who are in charge
of Zamsa, all these authorities.
Yes, those should actually be on the lookout and give information on the type of medication that are provided by the government, because out there, people don't know. And we have so much drugs, illegal drugs or drugs that are coming into our country through our borders that are not even monitored or that are not even controlled. And our people are busy consuming such. This self-medicative syndrome should come to an end. Even when you have studied a little bit of medicine, you are a paramedical or you have done pharmaceutical, it does not necessarily give you the right to start selling and distributing medication. You must have a practicing license to do so. So we need these institutions to step up so that they spread information out there. People are dying of ignorance, and ignorance is going to kill us. But once you are found as well, there's nothing like I didn't know. You will be an accomplice, and you'll be also prosecuted for buying illegal drugs from an illegal man, from an illegal person, an institution that is not even legalized to do so. So management, or rather leadership, should step up when it comes to these issues. So leadership, please pull up your socks, and the parliamentarians, these are issues that you need to talk about because they affect your constituencies, your people in your constituencies. So pick up these issues and come up with better laws and stiff punishments to prevent this from happening.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mukelabai. And I do agree with you. And let's remember that it's so dangerous to buy drugs from, a pharmacy or a drugstore, which is not authorized to deal in drugs, because they may sell to you even expired drugs. And, even in the compounds, you find that someone is holding out as a doctor when they are not doctors at all. They even put on that, doctor's gown and inject people with water instead of medication. And people will definitely die because you need to be treated by one who is truly, a medical practitioner. And let us remember that those of you dealing in illicit selling of drugs, there's no excuse. One would not actually claim that they did not know. and get scot-free because of not knowing. So let us do the right thing. And of course, the authorities, this must be a routine for you to do, unlike doing, random checks after a while. And that will be some kind of a reactive kind of approach. We need to see you to be proactive and do, these routine checks and ensure that people that are dealing in drugs are actually authorized. It's definitely a good thing to know that Ruben Mulungu, Jeremy, you are following the program from Facebook. We greatly appreciate, and it's good to know that. Not forgetting those of you that are following through YouTube and Twitter. We are definitely excited, and you can make mention that you are following the program by actually leaving a comment right in the comment section, and we'll be glad to know that you are right there. And those of you that would like to join us, on set, you can click on the link for StreamYard, then you definitely get to join us right here. Remember, this is Ubuntu channel, and you are following the program called My Point of View. Let's take a look at the next story, and we'll be right back.
Family and friends visit the home that was until just a few months ago a haven of bliss for the couple. The scene that meets the eye in the aftermath of a gruesome murder is the opposite of happiness. This is in Lusaka's Minwu-Dindeke area. ZNBC has gotten exclusive footage of the murder scene. We have been given access to this place. I am standing in the master bedroom where the victim is alleged to have been stabbed repeatedly by her spouse. If you look down the corridor, there's splatters of blood everywhere. It was a bloodbath in here. It kind of tells the struggle that was there before the woman finally gave in. Valerie Franco's sister explains that the couple separated a week earlier after a marital dispute.
Tuesday, he started calling her, said, Valerie, don't go. We tried by all means. Yesterday, Valerie just said, let me go and reconcile with him. I said, you can't go one-on-one. Let me be there. She said, no, I'll go alone. I said, okay.
A neighbor says he heard a lot of commotion coming from the house on Wednesday afternoon.
Kujamaya wa mkashana anabwera uza mgayi atinte ndipa polisi because paliko nani abantu bamenya na mkati mne wanza baendera ku polisi kuja so na bwana ngena mkati muja after na ngena mkati muja na bapeza shwamai wao benzoshita nani benzolira benzepa veranda bajata abantu ashita bwanje bapana mkati.
Police have opened investigations into the matter.
It is alleged Mr. Elishebo strangled Ms. Franco using an electric powered adapter cable and subsequently stabbed her in the stomach with a knife. Tragically, Mr. Elishebo also took a poisonous substance, resulting in his demise. Upon arrival of police scenes of crime officers at the scene of crime, Ms. Franco's lifeless body was discovered lying in the bedroom adjacent to the bed with a knife embedded in her abdomen.
The couple, who have been married for close to a year, share a 7-month-old baby.
Very sad state of affairs there. And culturally, we are told that when you get married, you need not divorce. And divorce is frowned upon in our societies. And worse off, when you are a Christian, you are told that, that union must be for life. And in most denominations, it is forbidden for you to divorce. And thereby seeing repercussions of staying in relationship. Mr. Mkelawa, your reaction?
Thank you, Chaza. That's a very sad development. It's not about what you see when people are busy looking happy on the street. We think everything is okay. We see them posting pictures, happy life, happy wife, happy life, and yet there's actually trouble in paradise. I understand it's a very sad situation, and I just wanted to put out, to say something about this issue, to say we are busy drawing already conclusions without any facts. And we know that's how we Zambians are. We always talk about things that we are not privy of. We don't know anything about the facts. Yes, there's a loss of life. 2 people have killed themselves, or they've killed each other, or we don't know whether it's them who killed each other or somebody else was there. For us to even report about the stabs, for us to report about the strangling with the cable, for us to talk about poison, all these are speculations and allegations. We are just drawing conclusion. We were not there. And for even the police to allow the scene of crime to be either contaminated by reporters and everyone will just walk in without proper, that's why you find people seal such places, and it's only given open to the public after investigations are made, thoroughly investigations or reports are given by the authorities. So right now we are just basing all this on speculations. Yes, there has been murder. We don't know whether it's murder or there has been, we don't know what caused the couple to die or to kill each other. We have no clue. So it will be, and we are doing ourselves a disservice to start drawing conclusions without getting. So let's leave this issue to the authority to draw up those conclusions. However, for now, we are just alleging. These are simple allegations. But we need to also be very careful and mindful out there to all you couples, all of us that are married and those that are not married, that when you have problems, it is important to always confer your problems to the third part, or to engage families, or to ask to go for therapy or counseling. Unlike where you just want to resolve matters alone within those war fences. What goes on in these war fences, gentlemen and ladies, it's pathetic. If we are to open up, all those war fences if we are to pierce the war fences and see what really goes on. When the people come out and walk around on the street, well-dressed, smile, and smartly dressed, and drive expensive cars, don't think that they are happy at where they're coming from. Those could be people who are sick or psychopaths or criminals. So we need to be very, very careful and do not trust anybody, including the person lying next to you. But when you have problems of that kind, marriages do end. People do cheat, People do cheat. But imagine if we were to kill every person that cheats on us because we've done something. How many people are going to kill? So I would suggest that we should stop this nonsense. We should stop this trend where you are curtailing your own life just because the significant has decided to go and tap for help or happiness elsewhere, or failing to resolve the problem with you, and choose to go and create another problem. That's the danger. These are the dangers that I always tell my friends out there and my family to say, when you smell a problem, don't sit and wait until, or the problems will grow. And once the problem has grown and it has grown thorns, for you to wanting to touch it and resolve it, it will prick you. So the best thing you do is simply walk away. Walk away. Divorce is legit, is legal. Even though it may be painful, but it will spare your life, and it will spare your headaches, and it will spare you from having any heartaches. So the best thing you can do is walk away. walk away, or go on separation. Be on separation. And while you're on separation, listen, first of all, get counsel. Get counseling, and do not pretend that you want to go and solve the problem yourselves, because you are still enemies. You are still trying to, you're blaming one another. The atmosphere is not conducive. So why would you choose to go and try to solve the problem when you know that your partner is either temperamental, or yourself also, you have a trigger point? So sometimes it's better to let dogs lie. Stay wherever you are, bring other people, bring you together, and once everything is agreed upon and you've mutually agreed that everything is okay, you are back, and there are signs to show that you're really remorseful and you've forgiven one another, then try it. But right now we are going to scare many couples. And sometimes it's also important not to ignore these shortcomings. These are the way people bust out, and the threats, those threats may one day come truly. So the best thing you do is, once your partner starts doing such things, please engage your council, or the church elders, or your families, so that we prevent these issues from happening. Otherwise, it was a sad development, very sad development. You don't need to take somebody's life just because they did something wrong to you. No. You cannot be the judge and the jury. Look at if at all these allegations are true, that she did something wrong or he did something wrong. Look at the end result. This is what happens when you try to take the law into your own hands. You end up coming up with wrong decisions. You may even kill somebody who is innocent because you have not given that person the opportunity to express themselves thoroughly. So it's a very sad development, very sad. But Zambians, let's stop speculating. Let's wait until the authority comes up with a concrete reason before we start spreading ubufi or propaganda or lies, creating lies in our head and then make our own conclusion. That's not okay. Otherwise, it's a very sad to the families. And I feel these are people that I feel like I know them. And it's sad that they ended up in this way. This issue ended up this way. This ought to have been prevented had they acted reasonably, either both of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mukelawai. And it's a bit difficult for people to become and stop spreading the rumors that are going around. You know, the coming up of this media that we do have, social media, you know, it's a very dangerous tool. And, you know, where we have a relative of the family, you know, narrating the story, and people have been to the crime scene and so on and so forth, and leakage of information, you know, passed from one, you know, end to the other. It's very difficult. And there's a bit of truth, even if sometimes there may be some lies, but, you know, some truths are there here and there, and rumors are there, and people, you know, definitely get to spread, you know, these rumors, and rumors spread like wildfire that may not be quenched, Mr. Mukelawai. That's my viewpoint on that aspect that you have.
But we shouldn't dwell so much on rumors. That's why we get so disappointed when we learn the facts, and then by the time we start changing ourselves, our decisions and our mind, we have already caused a lot of harm than helping the situation. So it is important. They say patient pays. Don't rush in drawing conclusions because you don't know the facts. Wait until you have the facts. Before that's when you can come out and say things. But this culture of drawing conclusion and even pretending or concluding that the allegations leveled are gospel truth is dangerous to have in a country. We should never do that, because when the real issues start happening, that's when now we'll be like, we won't even take it serious. When we realize that there's a cancer, there's something that is really causing people to kill one another, or somebody, there could be somebody who was there inside killing them, killed them both and pretended that you stabbed. You know, anything can happen. So let's not speculate so much, because we have no clue what transpired. So mwema Zambian na papata lekeni first my investigators babomberepo pali kesi na mwema reporters get facts, not much the interview you much everyone will say something. Zambians okulanda, we talk too much, and we talk even when we are not supposed to talk. The only thing is we can't simply say tatuishive. Sorry, we'll get back to you when we get the details. Tatuishive. For as long as the camera is in front of you, how am I? We'll talk. So that's a dangerous culture.
Yeah, and you know, social media, like I said, is what it is. Remember, in serious events, occasions like an accident, somebody will get a camera and start shooting, even, commenting, look the way they are dying, you know, instead of helping the victims of the accidents.
Yes.
You know,
Yes,
and they are so much eager to actually broadcast on social media. You know, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And this is, the same thing that happens concerning even the matter that we do have at hand.
Now, did you hear that there was a lady who claimed to witness when everything was happening, and she did what? Nothing. She said,
Exactly.
"But send her itambo, whatever itambo ya malaiti or cable, bamukaka mumukosha." Was she just looking? She couldn't go in and intervene or call for help immediately. You see?
Yeah.
So there are those issues. We don't know. What if she's the one who had the knife? You know? So we have no clue. So we will conclude right now and put all these stories together. Now, these guys, the telephone companies, they should be very mindful. Don't start issuing telephone recordings anyhow before you get the bottom of this issue. Because now we hear a lot of speculations and rumors that there are some people involved, there's cheating involved, hey, somebody who is jealous.
On Mr. Mkelelai, on that leaked audio, I don't think it can come from a mobile provider. That audio could have come, from, the owners of the recordings that were perhaps even shared.
Yes. But sometimes
because it is a breach of confidentiality as regards, the provider.
A jealous husband or a jealous wife would do anything to make it look like you have, because people create pictures, they visualize, even when there's no truth to it, there's no facts. People are sick. They can be a mental illness, It's not that it's true, but sometimes some people are so insecure that they become so psychopaths that they create images in their own and they make it look like it's true. What they receive and what they do, it's really happening, yet it's just in their mind. So, and innocent people end up, or rather be accused in this. As long as you suspect, just because your wife maybe had a chat with some guy or anybody that she meets along the way, we have seen people who are jealous, who are like that every man the wife talks to is a suspect of, that is cheating. So we know people can be sick in their mind. If at all it's true, for someone to even end up committing suicide or killing themselves because there's something that was troubling in the mind, could be sick. But like I said, let's not speculate. That's wrong. Even what I'm doing here is wrong.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mkelawai there. And I would like to make cognizance that Lawrence Mulungu is also, following the program through Facebook, and he's laughing out aloud. We actually greatly appreciate. For now, let's take a look at the next story, and we're coming back thereafter.
These are some of the scenes that characterized Chingola this morning. Small-scale miners, commonly known as Jerabos, were at the helm of the confusion. This was after they were denied access to operate from the tailings dam at Senseli mine.
Five days yambire pa Tuesday, if we don't expire pa Sunday.
They camped at the district commissioner's office demanding to be addressed.
So kuna kuine tulewa yakusukiri living yesukura kuine
teka is the returning president tatulefa abantu babona uire background kuno kuchingola so bakateka bengire muri problem naye.
Mines Minister Paul Kabuswe has urged the small-scale miners to exercise patience as the government is finalizing the process to formalize their operations.
But categorically said there will not be any operations or mining activities at Senseli mine. As a matter of fact, we are not yet done even with that mission that we were doing because the rains at that particular time had disturbed us. Now let me say this just to put everything in context. We have said to all youths on the Copper Belt, different districts, that we want to go the route of formalizing small-scale miners.
And the UPND leadership in Chingola is also calling for calm as their grievance is being addressed.
So as I'm speaking to that, we have told the people that we are going to solve the problem. That's why there is a leadership.
Tamara Mswana, ZNBC News in
Right, there we have it. A story as regards, what I would say illegal mining, and put it better, small-scale mining that the government is intending to legalize or formalize. Mr. Mkelawai, your reaction?
Thank you, Chaza. Politicians, they're just they are just another species. Let's call a spade a spade. Simple. You cannot allow criminality taking place, and then you simply, because you are scared to hurt their feelings, or to hurt the people, or to be scared to lose your votes, that you don't want to enforce the law to prevent criminal or illegal activities taking place. You see, I understand that is the place where most of those so-called miners or Jerabos are going to do some digging or scampering for those leftovers, But is that legit? It's illegal. And when we see presidents and the ministers, they're trying to hold it. They're trying to be careful, as if leaning. People are dying. We just from burying few individuals that died from the same illegal activity. Who is even going to compensate those people whose lives were lost in the line of doing something illegal? Because it is not legit. So the minister should not just be digging or running around the bush. Let him just say it the way it is. We know that even the protest, what for them to protest. If the owners of the mine says, I don't want you, and then you protest, what are you going to do? Then you go to the government so that the government should legalize an illegal activities. It is so sad. I don't understand. I know they're trying to handle them with care so that they have some votes when there is a general election. But I think they should do it the Garinkombo way, the way they did it with the street vendors. When something is illegal, call it the way it is, the Garinkombo way. Kick them out. Find alternative places. If you know you want to legitimize that, expedite your process and go to parliament, because you don't just legitimize mining just like that. You need to get more majority votes with the lawmakers. Let them come up with a law that will, so that they could issue our guys utuma licenses. And our guys funya bafure balanga babasambirisha kuti ati babe kona ka experience mwali kwata experience ya kuingira mu malobo mu kuingira panshi mu kumba sensaso. No, what do you have a course in first aid? Do you have a course in rescue and in case of eventuality? The safety measures. What are safety measures? What is it that you have done? The tools you are using, are they up to date? Are you using the safety material, the helmets, the masks, the machines? You must have that. For you to go in there, you must have this. But not just because you are a man and you don't have a job, you failed, you're no parent, you grew up without a parent, the PF used you as a cadre, now you have nothing to do, then that makes you qualified to go down. Who's going to lose? It is you and your family. So prevention is better than cure. How do you prevent Jerabos? We even call them Jerabos. It means these are illegal activities taking place. So how do we prevent them? How do we prevent that from happening? If we want to legalize it, yes, let the minister forward a bill. Mungande amafunde. Balande kutati abantu abapeni ama licenses kutati bambo kuchita mine legit na fwebene fwe bale batamba tubashiteko involve kutati bale tukumbira kona ifwe bale tule bapere mpia so that they do business, you know, so the business is legit. Not every Jim and Jack mwambo kuingira mine punch paria. That's why tulefwa we can't even read about the weather pattern. This year, are we going to have the rain, or is the soil strong enough to hold a hole that we're going to make under already the soft soil? And you want to allow your people to go under there. Those are measures that you need. You can't just give every Jim and Jack to go there. Leadership. Remember, we have been talking about leadership. We know that PF government allowed this trend from happening, and it started like a joke, and today it has grown. Now that's why they're even asking for recognition, that they should issue them with licenses so that they could do it legitimately. But before that, they should put up measures, or else we are again going to come here and start crying, our Boma Yanganepo, 10 people, 20 people have died because they are because of the illegal mine. Let's call it the way it is. Those minings are illegal and illegitimate, and they are dangerous by doing so, because people who are doing that job, they are not trained miners. They don't even have any level of education to do that kind of work. Any job that you do, no matter how bad it is, kujombolola mafi as a plumber or carpenter or electrician, you have to take a course. Even bricklaying, even to cut the trees, you need a course on how to cut a tree. You know, because guti wa ipa ya palast, you die pofe because uleteme uchimuti chilesa mkukuponena ochira mkuponena ba neighbor chato benganda. So you need at least some insight, some some training. So even now whenever Jerabo, yes, send to watch the training. Imwema engineers, this is your department. Mwema miners, this is your department. Come up with like a branch of this where you pick all these chaps, put them in class, teach them about these dangers, and once they pass, give them Mutuma papers and let them go there and show whenever mine. Not Tuma papers, and you are allowed to dig 50 meters. You are not allowed to dig 100 meters or 20 meters. You have to regulate this. It is the government. Under the Ministry of Mines, they should come up with this. Not if you they are protesting because they know to them they have the right. When they are not, they don't have that right. They don't have the right to go and mine. They know that. But they're doing it anyway because the government or the authorities, they're allowing them to do so. Allowing illegality to take place. And then you want to come and turn around to say, no, they will protest because Olobaye kukot nina ni judge wala pero mulanda go ahead and go and mine on something that is illegal. Takuli in a case, but they need protection. They are our fellow human beings. They are our fellow citizens. How do we prevent this? Let us expedite this process of giving the Mutuma licenses, but first and foremost, train them. Prevention is better than cure. Train them. And ngamwa start training. So that ngabakwata tuma practicing certificate twabo. Nga aiche no mwini, afwa, aipa ya mwini. It is on him, not on you, the government, because you've trained. You trained as a digger. You have a certificate in digging copper or leftovers. And then if you employ other people and they die, it is on you who has employed them. So the government should be very careful, even when issuing these certificates, So with those certificates, once issued, the government will have control. Let me end here.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Mukelabai. And what I would say is that politics are politics, and politics are stronger than the law, because politicians are the ones that enact the law. So what it is, as it were before, when there were, mushroomings of shanty compounds, the parliamentarians actually enacted the law to legalize the shanty compounds. And here we have an illegality. Politicians who are actually, the ones that go to parliament to enact laws are there saying they're about to formalize and legalize. This is why I'm saying politics are stronger than the law, Mr. Mukelabai.
No, but at least when you formalize things, then you have something to rely on, to hold on to. You can point a finger to say, palia muli palia, you are there with documentation. Not every Jim and Jake, if they hear the government coming in, they say, no, these are our people, these are miners. Just tell the people the truth. You are illegal miners, and it's why you are called illegal is because you are not authorized to do what you're doing. Simple. You are telling them the truth.
I like the aspect that you have brought in, an aspect of, creating policies, guidance, and also regulating them, training them to ensure that, they are safe. I think that is definitely a good way to really undertake, because we know that this is votes that are at stake, and they cannot just be rubbished just like that, because we are talking about, numbers themselves plus their families, and definitely votes would be detrimental on the side of the government.
Train them or employ them. Muma big minds there to raise, firafine turechita employ ama teachers, ama recruitment, ama soldiers. Find a group of them, 20 of them, put them in the pit mines, let them go there at a fee. And whatever money they will get from there will bring unosh kuchalo, put them into employment, give them jobs, train them first. Maybe this should be a policy to all people that are involved in mines, that they are allowed to go and pick at least 20 jerabos. After being issued with a license, they must pick 20 jerabos with the good qualifications, or rather train them and issue them with license and employ them, so that they go and, put bread and butter on the, simple as that. It's not me, members.
All right, Mr. Mukelawai, thank you so much. This is Ubuntu channel, and we are here on the program called My Point of View, and we are having reactions coming from, ourselves, and, we are so delighted to have, such stories that are making headlines. And it's not secluded. In case you'd like to participate, as it were, you can leave us a comment in the comment section, or even click on the link that we have shared right in the comment section, and you'll be free to join us right here on set. For now, we go straight to take a look at the next story, and we're coming back on the other side.
Abantu Mzambia muchalo chose cha Zambia inende munakwatiwa bafika Good Friday tatusele. I think some people can agree with me. Good Friday Mzambia yachilamu ama like tatuwe cha yatwa shite jenseti limo tatumune nesha kushani na fish tuleshani na tuleshani ne ine mfifi tukwecha tulotishedi oyo mleshani na ino nawe bantu ifitule shana muneni kufuna kufika no fitichu tete nenso kaya kufuma so tabara batu abafye mu Good Friday ubunga nishinga mwalite mwefo ifo ubunga balunda mulase kaba kushito ubunga ino mula piba tete bakutufye muliye unechi mona uno mwaka makamakanga mwalifula pakanga mwela sunga babulwa tibaango banani watu wita kabunga kafu umuntu walwala bibi ubunga bwali kula ni Good Friday ubunga twabwata tete ngamwapita transport yo yali nina mchalo te Good Friday ya ne Good Friday kulesu nina Jose Chalundi omutengo ifishawa mu Zambia ni Good Friday ngamwayambuse ba street kid balya mulatemo muna bala bayichi balenda mu musebo kwata mwabo uteko nte Good Friday ni Good Friday ishuletina no mrefu ni Good Friday ni Good Friday ya tete ewawe nditamubomba mulabomba ino tuntemba fyefile mushisha mwashisha kutusalati tushani bakutumulishe bambi n'abalume mubalisha te Good Friday ile mulakati kuzanja tuwabafe pa Good Friday tefye abantu obo balela enchi no bali bapela ni Good Friday na ye naija tefyo tuwabafe pa Good Friday ichikangala fitwakwata mumutimanga abakristiani ni Yesu Kristo nga tuletere nsasa nucha abantu banenso nucha bamulevote lati mwavota mwachitashani babufi kanwa yesu akwati mwavota mwachitashani mwache yona lekotefi mwalelanda ama 50 kwacha bamipele ya kusa te Good Friday no tutenge bamipele tatwale kwa ukaidi mwamu na kweba alesa
That was a priest in church during, Easter. He was there preaching about Good Friday. And to me, I really don't know if he was teaching the gospel. It salvation-based, gospel there. To me, he was politicking in church, which is, detrimental to the members of the church. Mr. Mkelawa, your reaction?
Thank you. That was, I thought it was actually a political rally myself. That's what I thought. That was not a church service. Maybe, and just after that service, he was telling people, you have no employment and you come to church in Good Friday. Your work, things are expensive, everything Good Friday. I don't even know in what context was he trying to say, but we could hear that he was actually speaking against what is currently taking place, But after that service, the very person that was talking about Good Friday, he took the basket going around to those very people who were busy, asking now them to pay, even though he knows he was there saying they don't have jobs. But he took a basket, take it around. Nomba pere ni ubupe. Muremona kwati shire mpia shira mulepera. Umutulo ulia mulepera mwe bakatolika kachinga ni bakatolika ni which church is that? Muremona kwati mpia shira share ya kwisa. Ishire lisha ulia wino mulumendo ule landa ulia kachinga ni priest or whatever. I can't even tell the difference because our priest these days, the priesthood has been politicized, and the priests today, the churches are now, for as long as, if you have noticed, even I was actually going to be compelled not to say this, to avoid not to say this, but it's the language being used there. What language is he using? And when you look at that language and compare it to who is against the current government or who is busy spreading propaganda today over what this priest was talking about, did that priest have time to talk about the source of these problems we have today to his congregates? And among those congregates, are those congregates only belonging to one particular political party, or they are of diversity political parties? They have different political parties they belong to. Are the churches now a place where we should bring dirty politics, because politics is dirty? And that's why today I will respond him in this manner. I call him a chap. I call him a cadre. Why? Because he has reduced himself to that level. That pulpit, it should be a holy place. It should be a place where you stand and speak the truth, not to go there and start propagating lies and innuendos. Because that priest, if he was coming there to talk with facts, that would have made the Zambian people who were listening to that happy. But instead, you could hear that he's busy attacking. Where was that priest when Edgar Changwalungu was purchasing an aeroplane that costed about 300 million? Where was this voice? Where was this voice when with this priest, when they were purchasing fire engines costing $1 million per truck, a second hand? Where was this priest where our citizens were being shot at, killed? Where was this priest to talk about at that time, the kwacha, when it was busy depreciating, losing value? Where was this priest when the milli-meal price was coming from 35 kwacha to 224 kwacha? Where was he? Lelo, he has the audacity to put on Mukanjo and claim that this is what is happening. Come on. Come on, let's be serious, our priest. Now I understand why Voi Menda, even though he won that case, that's why you find that Voi Menda or politicians are reacting like that, calling them Lucifers, that these are blasphemers. They're just busy. We can see by their fruits
We can tell by the way they come out. So it is not okay for preacher men who don't hear SDA people, the Jehovah's Witnesses, these maybe these Pentecostal also, we don't hear them politicizing, talking about politics, because we know power change. We know things change. We know that these are supposed to be part of the governing board, the churches. They're supposed to help the authority, pray for the authority to come out, find better solutions to mitigate these challenges. The church should be helping the government, the authority, not going to tell the people that this government, they are lying. This government, they propagated on lies. That's why today, what about the effort what this government is doing that is floating, making this economy floating, not to go down, not to go up, but it is floating somewhere. This government has brought this economy from ICU. It is where we are. We are where we are because of the hard work of this current government. And here you are, you have a priest, the so-called priest, inverted commas, claiming that the leadership of this country is lying to the Zambian people. Yes, we understand the cost of living is high, but what caused that? Is it because of their lies? Why are you not talking about people that have been prosecuted for having destroyed this nation? Now I understand why the president was even talking about people who are fighting corruptions are being pointed a finger at by the corruptees themselves. These are the priests that were busy receiving alms or gifts. Because they are all oil. We can tell that these are chaps who were oiled. And today, that's why you find that they are so against and unhappy, because those money they used to receive, those loopholes have been closed. There's no slash funds anymore to the priest. You think slash fund, it still continued, but it was now being done because it was demolished. Now it was being done privately, secretly, buying them. You know, so we don't like that. Priests should be holy. They should exhibit the posture of Jesus, the forgiveness. And of course, we want them to speak the truth, but not attacking the authorities. Anyone, it is written even in the Bible, you go against the authority, because any authority that is ordained by God, it is ordained here on earth, it is also ordained up in heaven. These are the same chaps who preach like that. But today they come and say what God has ordained up here, this authority, this leadership is not supposed to be. Who are they to judge? So I'm a little bit disappointed with the churches. They should be honest. They should not involve themselves in politics, or else they will be bruised. We'll call them as they are. And we even start bringing other issues that happens in the Catholic Church. But we don't want that, because the Catholic has a constituency of many members that are respecting the authorities, the government. But to hear a preacher man busy sidelining, inciting people to disobey their own democratically elected government or leadership, and call them names such as liars, without telling them why we have the cost of living which is high today. Who caused this? It's so sad. It's so sad. Vane leso unatumwangasha sana. Andi ababe nawa mumakanjo baka pia kuli lesa. Mukaya pia. Because mulemwangasha sana lesa. At you've gone for school 7 years, 11 years studying, and this is the product. Is this what you learn in those schools as a priest? Please, can you exhibit leadership and exhibit holiness? If you are truly children of God, you're truly men of God, exhibit holiness, not this type of language. Imagine the new apostolic today start talking negative about the leadership of HH or the SDA or the Jehovah's Witnesses, do you think you're going to govern this nation? Do you see what happened in Rwanda and Burundi? This type of preaching can ignite fire, hell, onto the country. So these priests, they should be careful with what they say. They should be neutral. They should not involve themselves in politics. Priests, I think I'm going to make an appeal to the Pope. It's near here. I'm going to Vatican City and petition. You know? So stop lying to the Zambian people. That preacher man is not fit to even be a called priest, in my opinion. Because those are enemies of progress. We allow them to speak when the government is doing something wrong, but not start spreading lies and propagandas, because whatever allegation he was giving there, they are questionable. We can question him and challengeable, even in the court of law. Let him provide evidence to show. Why do you think the dollar is at 25 kwacha or for 24 kwacha? Why do you think the economy is, the cost of living is high? Why do you think Esther Lungu, she's in court? Why do you think Lusambo, Kampiongo, all their cases are in court? Those that are from the previous regime. Why do you think so? And today you want to come here and claim you speak the truth. You should be ashamed of yourself as a priest. That man should apologize to the nation. We don't care whether you belong to Lungu or you belong to PF or Socialist Party or you belong to, please be honest. I'm not telling you to praise HH, but be humble, be civil in your dissertation, in what you give to the Zambian people. Let me end here, or else I'll say something that I'll regret. So, right, terrible men of God.
Thank you, Mr. Mukelabai there. Thank you. Yeah, you know, we have freedom of speech and association. So the clergy cannot go to the pulpit and, you know, start politicking. If they would like to, you know, politic, let them, you know, wear down the gowns and join politics. Exactly. We do not want to see people purporting, you know, to be clergymen. They go to the pulpit, then they abuse the pulpit. We don't want to see such a situation. And there must be law and order in the church. These are, you know, clergymen who are purporting to be clergy. If they go against the expectations or the constitution of the church, they should actually be punished. It must be a deliberate thing to do, because they are bringing, you know, the church into disrepute. This is not the expectation that we, the people, have in the church. So we are, you know, being disappointed, because everyone, including politicians, they go to church to find solace. Now you go to church, you find more distress. That is not the way it is supposed to be. That is what we hold against, you know, such behaviors from the clergy. At this point in time, we take a look at the next story, and we're coming right back.
These are the fields for most farmers in Mumba district. Drought has left most farmers with nothing. However, the Food Reserve Agency FRA is already selling maize to the affected communities. Over 46,000 bags of maize have been set aside for sale in Mumba district. Agriculture Permanent Secretary Yvonne Mpundu has inspected Mumba FRA main depot.
Please keep it up and ensure that we safeguard our commodity, and please ensure that the security wings in Mumba must keep vigil of the sales that are taking place. We do not want to have situations where people are buying this maize and taking it for reselling or maybe taking it out of Mumbwa. It's meant for the local community. It's consumption for the local community, the people of Mumbwa.
And in Chiwuyunji district, dozens of people were found buying maize from FRA.
So uyu mulimo ngo mwabereka wabusu kamboka saka karabulemu mapopwe winda busu mapopwe malemu so twarumba kapati
tulijisi igurumba kurumende chiya jita ya gutuletera jaguri akamba wose mapoka akamana kuyuma
titasha boma pakutipasa milisi sembe twafanjala na bana batu.
By midday, over 200 bags of maize had been sold at this depot.
Yes, we have received so far something above 7,000 in all the 12 wards. And on stocks, we are not complaining. The flow is excellent.
The permanent secretary and FRA officials were in Central Province to check on the community sales of maize. Lucky Piri, ZNBC News.
Right, there we have it. The government through FRA, Food Reserve Agency, they are there, reacting to the situation that we do have, the situation as regards, drought. And they are there, selling, maize so that people can have food in, parts of the country, as it were in the clip that we are from, taking a view of. Mr. Mkelawai, your reaction?
Oh, it's a wonderful gesture. My apologies, the video. There was so much movement behind me. The government is responding, and these are the things that these so-called churches should report on. Not dwelling on what we were just from talking about the priest. The priest should really talk about something positive in terms of God is providing through the leadership, providing food. Relief food to those that were affected. We expect the very priest to pray for more rains to come, so that at least next season, so that we have enough water. Because when rain comes, it's not just the maize that died out of a drought, but we have other crops that may grow where people will survive from. They have maize. They can also have mealie meal from that. They can also have mealie meal from cassava, But when the rain comes, they will have vegetation. They will have vegetables to rely on. We even have wild fruits that grow because of the rains. The benefits are so wide. So we expect clergymen to report, or rather to pray to the gods. If they believe in spirits, they should pray to God. If they really truly believe in God, to perform miracles. These are the things we expect them to do. But when you see a leadership, the so-called the church leadership that is invested in trying to tarnish the image of the government, those that are in authorities, then you know that you are in trouble as a nation. Those are not people to rely on. But coming out to the issue of relief, the government is doing the best. And we are happy that there's distribution of maize to those affected areas. And the government should not stop. There's always plan B. If God is able to provide food for the wild animals, the birds, in the river, the fish and everything, what about you, the human beings? What about us? God is going to provide for us. This drought has just come to even strengthen us to find surviving skills. How do we survive in terms of when we are faced with such kind of calamities? We have to rely on others that can bring in some aid to help us, to help those that are affected. So the government is doing a wonderful job,
and we should just be here, rally behind and support the government. Unlike listening to people, enemies of progress, such as the previous priest that you just played. We don't need such spirits. Those are evil spirits, because not all those who call me Lord, Lord will come to, you remember that verse in the Bible. So we will have such people who claim to be the prophets or the men of God, but listen to what they're doing. Listen to the message. That's not the message of uniting the nation. The message that priest was giving was simply dividing us. There will be people that were supporting his dissertation, and there are other people like me who were very much against what he was preaching about. The country needs prayers right now. The country needs priests to come together, to hold people together, and like fighting the leadership. What are you doing? I think it is important that the Catholic management should look into this and talk to their men in those Mikanjo, that they are now acting ultra-viriously. They are going beyond, because what they preach, that is not gospel. That is politics. So if they want politics, please come forward. But we are not going to sit back and look at them or listen to them busy misleading the people. We are going to actually tell the people to stop giving alms, to give them offerings in those churches. We see if they are going to survive. Because they rely on the very people they are busy tarnishing. They rely on the very people they are busy laughing, preaching them, including them in their preaching, that you don't have jobs. Meanwhile, they are busy listening to the person who is busy mocking them, and they give them basket at the end of the day to say, put the 10% of your whatever earnings. That's thefty. That's extortion. So we are going to tell people to stop giving ubupe. You close your Catholic church. If people will be able to even come there to ask for forgiveness, they will go. We'll tell them to go and join other churches. That means well. You come back. Can you manage to go to Vatican City? You can't, because you need a passport. And so you have to just be in your lane. Save the souls, the lost souls. Talk to the Zambian people about spirit, the richness of spirits, the Holy Spirit, unlike damaging the government that is helping the very people you are helping, you are preaching to. So with those few words, I would just want to congratulate the government for having reacted in such a way to go and give maize to those people that are affected. And please, let the project continue even to other parts of the country where our citizens were affected. Ndarumba Kapati.
Right, thank you so much, Mr. Mkelawai. And the people that have been following the program out there, is just a reminder that this program is an opinion-based program. We do hold our own opinions, and you also do hold your own opinions, and you are free to join us and make known what your opinions and reactions are on this program called My Point of View. This is Ubuntu channel. To host it, my name is Chaza, and we've had Mr. Mkelawai right to make reactions to the stories that we've had this week. For now, whatever goes up must definitely come down. Till next time, God bless you all.